Egbeleke from Nigeria. I'm a master's in development studies, major in human rights, gender, and conflict studies, social justice perspective at the International Institute of Social Studies, ISS in The Hague, Netherlands. Most of you might not have heard about The Hague, but The Hague is the big city in which we have International Criminal Court, International Court of Justice, and we call it the City of Justice. Yeah, today I'm discussing a very important topic that inspired me so much that have generated a lot of discourse. Removal of Egyptian president through civil disobedience, interrogating new forms of citizenship rights. Well, these starting in 2011, when we had this Arab Spring from Tunisia, spread across to Libya, Egypt, now Syria, Yemen, even some of us almost witnessed it in Nigeria in 2012 during the first subsidy. A lot of things have happened that this is a new form of right where citizens can hold their leaders accountable. But this presentation is going to interrogate this new form of right because of bringing it in the context of the Egyptian case. I know there are a lot of contrary opinions, but I'm not here to take legality, whether what's happening in Egypt is right or not, but I want to provoke your thinking so that we can think outside the box and see how we can look at this. There have been various interpretations and analysis of protracted revolution in Egypt since 2011, when citizens through street actions brought down the 30 years military rule of Hosni Mubarak and the recent movement of democratically, in quotes, democratically elected regime of Morsi President Mohamed Morsi has become a topic of discourse. Though the legitimacy of the military installed interim President Ali Mansour, the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Constitutional Court, is questionable. I do not wish to take side as regards the legality or otherwise of the incumbent regime in Egypt. Rather, enjoying the debates of the Egyptian revolution, I will focus my attention on two major issues which the episode has brought to the fore. The first is that I intend to examine how classical notions of social contract theories construct or explain patterns and dynamics of new citizens' rights in a globalizing world, using the Egyptian recent history. There are various strands of social contract theory. However, for the purpose of this presentation, I will invoke the mediation theory by Thomas Hobbes and John Locke. These I just give an insight to what I'm going to discuss. On July 3rd, 2013, the Egyptian military overthrew the democratically elected regime led by the President Mohamed Morsi and replaced him with an interim president, the person of Ali Mansour. The military justified the takeover with the claim that Morsi regime has failed to respond to the demands of about 17 million Egyptians who stepped down because it failed to improve economic condition of citizens within a year in office. It was also alleged to be pursuing Islamic agenda, evidence in the recent enacted Islamic-oriented national constitution. Yes, there are a lot of these allegations are true because democratically he was elected, and the parliament of Egypt, the Muslim Brotherhood dominant in the MPs, and the changed constitutions to suit. Yeah, that's what democracy is all about. And this raises the question of citizenship. Is democracy and citizenship right always go along side by side? I think this is a very important question that we are going to see in this presentation. However, this allegation is true, not say. Well, this now brings the interrogating new form of citizenship right. The citizens' roles in shaping political events in Egypt in 2011, when President Mubarak was brought down by about 7 million people, has further necessitated the need to examine how classical notions of social contract theories explain the pattern dynamics of new citizenship in globalizing world. Now, we need, and you can see the pictures of President Mubarak, and you can see people dancing here, jubilating the revolution. Of course, they are citizens, but with what has happened with Mohamed Morsi, we need to start asking questions. Now, before we go asking questions, we are invoking social contract theories. I believe that all of us are not social science students. Many people might not understand what social contract is. Social contract is the belief that the state only exists to serve the will of the people, and they are the source of all political power enjoyed by the state. They can choose to give or withhold this power. Inside the Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and John Rawls are social contract theorists, and they all agree that social contract is an agreement entered into by individuals that results in the formation of a state or organized society. The prime motive being the desire for possession, which entails the surrender of some or all the personal liberties, without us having this contract that we can handle. And I will just move straight because of time to the first one, which is Thomas Hobbes. In the opiate state of nature, life was solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. He argues that in order to avoid the state of perpetual anarchy, people came together to institute a social contract in which all men submit power to govern their lives to a sovereign. That is to say, all of us agree that this person should be in charge of this society, because there will be anarchy if everybody is just doing whatever they like. And the call of house argument is that once the sovereign is established, when you sign the contract, by the virtue of social contract, the citizens do not have the right to withdraw from the social contract in which they have surrendered the right to rule over their lives. And this option is saying that dictator or oppression is better than anarchical states in which where there is no contract at all binding anybody. But John Locke countered this argument and says social contract is invocable once the sovereign fails to perform its expected roles. Locke asserts that citizens reserve the right to protest against their elected rulers once they fail to live up to their expectation. Well, in the Egyptian case, while in the Lockean rendition, John Locke rendition, or social contract, aptly justified citizens' action against both Hosni Mubarak and Mohamed Morsi in removing them because it was explicitly disobedient. Options, rendition of social contract explain clearly the anarchy that follows the removal of Morsi and John Rawls' social contract. This program coming inside this presentation. Rawls argues that each member of the society has to be treated equally by having the same level of liberty. We are all citizens, we have the right to exhibit the same level of liberty. But it's worthy to note that the anti-Morsi protesters enjoy liberty to express themselves without interference, but the pro-Morsi was brutally dispersed by the military. This picture, the topmost picture, they are the anti-Morsi, and the bottom one are the pro-Morsi. They are all citizens. You can see millions. How do you differentiate between it? Because they are also exhibiting their rights. And we are saying we want justice, we have the right to dialogue. If you want to say you have the right to talk, I also have the right to talk. That is what this conference is all about. Tolerance. Right to dialogue means tolerance. Let people come and express that. Now, but I guess the options were right. Anarchical state of nature. The brutal crackdown on the sittings of pro-Morsi supporters by the military that led to the arrest and death of hundreds contradicted the social contract theory of justice co-founded by John Rawls. Moreover, millions of Muslim Brotherhood members are Egyptians. They are not dogs. They are citizens with full rights as any other Egyptians, be it secularists, be it Tutsi, be it Buddhists, whoever you think you are. They are all citizens, but nevertheless, they are treated and still being treated like dogs by the military. I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a Christian, but I'm human being. How we are saying that I have right to talk. I have too much right. My position on citizenship, right? Because I have to have a position in as one talk. In as one child, I believe that citizens reserve the right to withdraw their support from a non-functioning and non-responsive government that has failed to live up to its electoral promises, which is a social contract. Nevertheless, I believe that such rights should be applied democratically and in order to avoid the type of anarchy that follows removal of President Morsi from office because he was democratically elected, and I believe that he didn't want to withdraw such contract because he signed the contract initially through democracy. So if you want to withdraw the contract, it should be done by the democratic way. Because supporting the Egyptian model of citizenship rights sets a bad precedent and dangerous to the sustenance of democracy, most especially in a society that is highly polarized, divided along ethnic and religious lines. To say that the removal of President Morsi is justified as a result of street protests by the citizens, one could also argue that the protest and sitting of the Muslim Brotherhood demanding the reinstatement of President Morsi is also acceptable. And this is just a kind of provoking. I'm not saying that this is right or this is wrong, but this is what we are here to do, to dialogue. In conclusion, I want to say the aborted tenure of President Morsi by massive street protests of about 17 million Egyptians has raised important issues relating to new citizens' rights in the globalizing world. Because people are following the trend, occupy this, occupy that, citizens can do this, but it is important that though the Egyptian revolution is still ongoing, hence it will be too early to make definite comments. Based on the foregoing analysis, I want to submit that in the globalizing world, citizens are not ready to sacrifice economic prosperity in order to fulfill religious aspirations. Political parties that wins election by appealing to religion sentiment needs to take care of welfare of the citizens in order to last in power. Thank you for listening. Thank you all.
Una relazione molto importante, utile per portare avanti il dibattito e anche per collegarsi con alcuni temi che sono stati trattati ieri. Il primissimo riferimento che è stato fatto alla Corte internazionale dell'Aia, che è uno dei punti che era stato trattato ieri, era stato impostato ieri da Vecellio, e che a mio parere si